Hi Instagram family, this is Maha Al-Musa here, and I am in a couple of hours will be facilitating my online Taiwanese mentor training with the beautiful women from Taiwan. And I was in Taiwan in the middle of this year, and I facilitated my Awakened Woman workshop and my 2-day in-person Fundamentals of EmbodyBirth workshop. So I'm really excited to be doing the online mentor training starting this afternoon. And there will be an English training online in March next year. I would love for you to join us. And I wanted to just share a little story that really highlights my work of almost 30 years as an independent international childbirth educator and founder of EmbodyBirth. And this story is actually just a local cafe story. There's a cafe that I go to here locally. And there was a beautiful young man there whose partner was having their first baby. So over the last few months, I've spoken with him and shared some of my things with him. And, you know, he shared things with me. And his partner was very, very switched on and very conscious about the pregnancy and very in tune with her baby. Very beautiful, all the things that he was telling me. And so I would share with him that that's wonderful, that's the place to come home to her own baby, her knowing, her innate wisdom, the womb wisdom, that psychic highway that runs between a mother and baby, all of those things. And then this week I went back to the cafe and she'd had the baby. And it was beautiful to hear that story. But it was also really interesting when I was speaking to him, because the way he told the story was very interesting to me. And what he had said about the birth was that his partner, and they were at home for a long time, you know, she didn't want to go to the hospital until she was really feeling that she was in established labor. But what had happened was that he had thought about all of the ways in which the labor was supposed to unfold for them. So he had the book and he had all the instructions about how birth should be and how many centimeters dilated and how long that would take and what she would be, the position she would be in and how she would be. And so he had it all methodically ruled out, mathematically ruled out about how the babies and the birth would unfold. And lo and behold, she actually was quite a fast labor, and the baby came very quickly. But he didn't really believe her because he had his notes about how the birth should run. And she was saying, I can feel the baby's head. Apparently she was in the toilet, she could feel the baby's head. And he said, but no, you can't feel the baby's head yet. It's not meant to have happened yet. And he was calling the midwife. And even the midwife was saying, oh no, I don't think she can feel the baby's head. That's been too quick. And so there was a really interesting, discussion between he and I about what we expect and how we expect things to happen, and then believing the mother with her baby. Yeah? Believe the mother. The mother knows birth. The baby knows birth. And he said he got such a big shock when she pushed that baby out and the midwife wasn't there. It was just he and her that were there, and he just could not believe it because it hadn't gone to the prescribed plan. And it really indicated to me what it is that I have been teaching in EmbodyBirth for nearly 30 years. And that is the trust in the mother and the baby knowing birth, the body knowing birth, and reassurance and comfort and love to the mother that she does know birth with her baby. And so what we've done is, as always, we've intellectualized the process. Birth is not an intellectual process. It's not a thinking process. It's a feeling, deeply feeling connected, somatic process. And that is what we teach in EmbodyBirth. And we also teach in EmbodyBirth, and this is what I was saying to him after he told me the story, is that there is a mystery that is involved in birth, which is my story. It is unique to the mother and the baby, the partner, the family. Yeah, birth is not a prescribed series of events as we are led to believe intellectually. Yeah, you don't think your baby out, you feel your baby out. And this is the kind of principles that we teach in Embody Birth, and that every birth has a song and dance of its own. It is unique. It can't be replicated. Even though the books and the education on birth, the idea that we get is that it is a choreographed event. And as we say in Embody Birth and Belly Dance Birth, we learn the movements of the dance, that intuitive dance movements of birth, those birthing rhythms that are unique to my body with my baby in this moment of life. That is how birth unfolds. So here he was in his intellect, reading from the external book, but his partner, which I thought was beautiful, was reading from the book within, that living book within that we talk about in Embody Birth. And we are writing those chapters of that living book within. And she was in allowance of that song and dance of birth. And I thought it was beautiful. And even the midwife wasn't getting it. And I say this in Embody Birth. The midwife doesn't live in your body. The doctor doesn't live in your body. The obstetrician doesn't live in your body. You live in your body with your baby. That is where we need to connect for birth education. Yeah? So we know when we are connected and we're not distracted by that external book and those preconceived notions and that, number 1, 2, 3, 4, we have to be connected to that living book that lives within us for birthing. And so he was still quite bedazzled about the fact that, it didn't go as he had thought that it should in the plan of birth, and that she just was in that surrendered state of allowing the baby to come, and the midwife didn't make it. And I said, how wonderful that you birthed together at home like that, and that she trusted in her body and she trusted in her baby and the baby trusted in her. It works both ways. So I wanted to just share that story, and it really, highlighted and indicated what it is that I teach in Embody Birth. So really, it is about the philosophy of surrender, the philosophy of being in the now, and the philosophy of those on the outside not interfering and meddling unnecessarily. And that's always the word we talk about in Embody Birth, unnecessary meddling. So a mother and baby know what they are doing for birth, for life. And if she doesn't know, she has a voice. She can speak up and she can ask for assistance and guidance and help. But this mother was beautifully moving through the rhythms of birth without needing anybody on the outside. So I thought that was a really beautiful story. And I think that he learned something from that. We always learn something from birth, is to trust in life, to trust in his partner and his baby. And he had a baby boy, and I said to him, well, the best way that you can help and assist your partner and your baby is by caring and loving and nurturing her. That's the best you can do now in this postpartum time. In fact, till the son is like 6, when he'll probably really need you and gravitate more to dad. And he looked at me like, oh wow, 6 years of looking after mum. Yeah, that's right. So mum and baby come together. Mother and baby are the dyad that dance this dance of birth and postpartum. And when we are looked after and we are cared for, we blossom and we nourish. We cannot nourish our babies if we are not nourished. We cannot nurture our babies if we are not nurtured. So for partners, that is really when they're asking, what can I do? Look after the mother and baby emotionally, physically, spiritually. Look after her and her baby. Yeah, that's the most beautiful thing we can do. So I just wanted to share that story and also invite you We have until the end of December for the early bird of the EmbodyBirth mentored online training with me that starts in March next year for 6 to 8 months. It's part self-paced and part group Zooms mentored with me. It's a very, very beautiful program. It is often referred to as the missing link in childbirth education. It incorporates philosophy and psychology and principles of birth, as well as the practice of the belly dance birth, that mindful, meditative movement, that intuitive, rhythmic movement for birth that lives within our womb wisdom. So if you're interested to join, I really would love you to come and join the training, become an EmbodyBirth teacher from anywhere in the world, and teach this very wise, conscious childbirth education program that, as I mentioned, I've been teaching now for nearly 30 years. So I'm 62 now, and my beautiful daughter, whom I birthed at home at 46, is now 16. So I feel very, very blessed to have had 3 very beautiful children, all born as nature intended. And now I'm passing on all of my knowledge and my teachings to you all worldwide. So get in touch at any time, and I always love to get messages, and any podcasts or interviews, get in touch as well. And let's keep raising that consciousness for birth, for humanity. When we look out at the world, the world needs our medicine as mothers. The world needs us. The world needs that consciousness that we gift through the transformational experience, or that rite of passage experience of birth. The world needs that. So women, we must stand strong in our power. We must be able to say yes, no, or I don't know, and speak our own truth and live our own vision for our lives, for our children, and for humanity. So as I also say, my child is your child and your child is my child. That is what birth has shown me, that we are all united under the umbrella of this love consciousness. And that is what the world needs. The world needs that nectar. So, yes, get in touch if you'd like to join the EmbodyBirth teacher training English starting in March next year. And as I mentioned, the online Taiwan Chinese training starts today in a couple of hours. So I look forward to sharing. So sending lots and lots of love to you all, and Namaste.